So, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be continuing with our Bundesländer series, or what's it called, federal states? I forgot that word. Bundesland, federal state series. And today we're going to be continuing. Welcome back to today's video. Today we're going to be continuing with our federal state series, or Bundesländer series as I call it on my channel because it's German. And yeah, I'm going to be teaching you some German whilst learning a bit about the 16 federal states of Germany. Today we're going to be covering Hamburg, and yeah, let's go. So, Hamburg. Here we have the, of course, name, the flag or weapon of Hamburg. And yeah, here's the, as always, short description and some facts and stats. So, Hamburg, or Hamburg. I'm going to, of course, be reading it German, translating it word by word and in context, so you learn, everything, basically. Hamburg, traditionsreiche Millionenmetropole an der Elbe. Die freie und Hansestadt Hamburg ist zugleich Bundesland, zweitgrößte Stadt und wichtigster Außenhandelsplatz Deutschlands. Durch das Tor zur Welt, den Hamburger Überseehafen, fahren die dicken Pötte. Jeder dritte Container kommt aus China oder wird dorthin verschifft. Daten und Fakten. Bevölkerung 1,89 Millionen. Landeshauptstadt Hamburg. Größe 755 Quadratkilometer. Bruttoinlandsprodukt in Millionen Euro 2024 161.856, Platz 9. Bruttoinlandsprodukt pro Kopf in Euro 2024 84.486, Platz 1. Einzigartig, die Elbphilharmonie ist die spektakulärste und prächtigste Konzerthalle in Deutschland. Sitze im Bundesrat 3. Platz 1 im Ranking. Höchstes Entgelt pro Arbeitnehmer 2023 4.127 Euro im Monat. Special Fact: Die Kirche St. Michaelis, genannt der Hamburger Michel, hat die größte Turmuhr Deutschlands. Die 4 Zifferblätter messen jeweils 8 Meter im Durchmesser. So, yeah, this is the kind of article about Hamburg. As always, we're going to be going through this first. Traditionsreiche Millionenmetropole an der Elbe. Traditionsreiche Millionenmetropole, that means tradition. Tradition means tradition as always, like it's the same in English. Reich means rich, so it's like tradition rich, so it contains a lot of traditions, or tradition, yeah. And has a large history. Millionenmetropole means million metropole. I guess you can already guess what that means. That just means that a lot of people live there, like more than 1 million, I guess. An der Elbe, at the Elbe. Elbe is the, I don't know if it's the biggest, but one of the biggest or most famous rivers, I think, in Hamburg, because Hamburg is located very much at the north of Germany. So first of all, of course, we're going to look at the map to get you some imagination of it. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Here's the Elbe, which is what's it called? Flowing. Do you say flowing? Fließt. Fließt durch Hamburg. Yeah, flowing. I think that was flowing through Hamburg. Flows through Hamburg, yeah. So this is the Elbe River flowing through Hamburg. I think there are some others, but I'm not quite sure. Wasn't there also Spree? But maybe that's Berlin and I'm totally confusing it. But yeah, anyways, Hamburg is very much a very much, what's it called, geprägt. I'm just blanking on the words today, but I think you get what I mean if I say that. Yeah, embossed, I have never heard of that word, but like very much, what's it called? The Handel, kind of characterized by maritime trade. I don't know if this is the right way to say that, but I think you get what I mean. Like, this is very much characterized by the years that it has been like trading goods via this water thing. We're gonna get into this in this article a bit, but like, yeah, you're gonna understand what I mean. This has very much what's it called? Characterized it, I guess, and made a kind of a symbol. That's why it's called Hansestadt, because Hanse is very an old word for, I think, what's it called? Boats, or like that arrive there, and for goods like trading goods via the waterway. I think you know what I mean, like, shipping, maybe you could say. Anyways, it's located very much in the north. This is a city-state, so that means only Hamburg is the state, but one of the three ones, I think Bremen and Berlin are the other ones. And, except Bremen, as we covered in the last episode, covers 2 cities, so, And Hamburg is, of course, as it is a city-state, the capital of it, but we're gonna get into this in here. So tradition, rich, you could say, million metropole, so very full city, an der Elbe at the Elbe River. Die freie und Hansestadt Hamburg ist zugleich Bundesland, zweitgrößte Stadt und wichtigster Außenhandelsplatz Deutschlands. The free, in this case, is as it is written in caps, so with a capital letter at the beginning of the word. It is a bit confusing. I'm not quite sure why this is like written this way, but I guess it's because of tradition, or the free, die freie, has another meaning, but Die freie und Hansestadt Hamburg, so the free and Hansestadt, that is what I was referring to. Hanse, I think, if I'm not completely mistaken, this is a very old word for like trading goods on rivers. Like in this case, Hanse refers to the word, the first one that comes to my mind is Flotte, which means is just an older word for a boat. So I think that you could kind of translate it to like boat city if you were to, or like trading on goods on water. This just means that it's like very much a city that focuses on trading, not necessarily today, but in the past has focused on trading goods by water instead of like via, I don't know, like trains, or I think you know what I mean. But this is, just keep in mind, a very old word and just refers to that as trading goods on the waterway. Hamburg, where the, of course, hamburger derives from, ist zugleich Bundesland. Is zugleich means word by word, to the same, but that refers to the time. That means at the same time. The same, zugleich, at same, at the same time. Bundesland, of course, federal state, one of the 16. Zweitgrößte Stadt. Zweit means the what's it called? Like second. Is a cardinal or ordinary numbers. I'm not quite sure, but there's a difference. Anyways, but that just means second. Größte, feminine word for größt, which is the superlative form of big. So like the biggest, not bigger, but biggest. Zweitgrößte Stadt. Stadt means city, that is why this is with an E at the end, because this is feminine. So, zweitgrößte, second biggest, feminine, city. Und wichtigster Außenhandelsplatz Deutschlands. And wichtigster means most important. Außenhandelsplatz means, außen means outside of, or just, outside. Handel means, trade, you could say. Platz just space or place or room, but yeah, in this case it just refers to a location. So location, you could say. So this in general means like word by word outside trading place, which doesn't necessarily make that much sense, but that just means that you trade something out of the country, but it goes deeper in these kind of describes it deeper in the next sentences. Außenhandelsplatz, it just means like trading goods with other countries and like trading far away, like I don't know, to Australia, or this case, as we're gonna get into, to China and yeah, other countries. Deutschland of Germany. So tradition rich million metropole, I think you will know what I mean, at the Elbe River, the free and river, I don't know, water trading on water via the waterway city. Hamburg is at the same time a federal state, second biggest city in Germany, and most important, but yeah, here in Germany, most important, what's it called? I'm just gonna translate that because I don't have the exact word right now. Foreign trade center, yeah, you could say that. This is, by the way, not correct. Außenhandelsplatz, these are two words. This is the correct word. Of Germany. Durch das Tor zur Welt, den Hamburger Überseehafen, fahren die dicken Pötte. Durch das Tor zur Welt, through the Tor zur Welt means Tor can mean like a gate, kind of like when you open, or in this case a gate in terms of like a door that you open, or in general like door, big doors. Is there a more correct translation? Oh, sorry. Tor. Goal. Yeah, that is in terms of football or soccer, as they call it in America, USA. Gateway, you could say. And Tor zur Welt, so door to the world, you could say. This is very metaphorically speaking. Welt means world, zur means to the. Through the door to the world, den Hamburger Überseehafen. Sorry, I think I gotta like connect my laptop to energy right now. Sorry. So through the door to the world, the Hamburg Überseehafen. Hamburger just means of Hamburg. Überseehafen means what's it called? A port that goes Übersee, word by word, that would mean over sea. It's not the same as overseas, but kind of. Überseehafen, let me just translate that. Übersee, sorry. Why is it not translating today? I just don't get it. My connection is fine. Yeah, takes always 2 tries today, I don't know. Overseas port, yeah, that would be like very much word by word, but I think this is in general kind of correct. But that just means, I think, like when you transport goods to other countries, and this is kind of the same as Außenhandelsplatz, but in terms of trading goods via the water, the riverway, trading overseas to other countries. So the overseas port. Hafen, yeah, means port. And See means a lake. Über means over, so yeah, overseas port, just that you have the very much word by word translation, even though this is one word. Anyways, so through the door to the world, the Hamburg overseas port, fahren die dicken Pötte. Fahren means in general drive, but in this case this means because in German you could say drive on a river, word by word, auf dem See fahren, in terms of ships or, you know, whatever is able to, what's it called? Yeah, kind of drive on a river, what's it called in English? I'm blanking on it. Auf dem See fahren. Ride, yeah, you could say ride. To ride on the lake. So, through the door to the world, the Hamburg Overseas Port, durch das Tor zur Welt, den Hamburger Überseehafen, fahren die dicken Pötte. So, ride the big, or dick in German, yeah, very funny if you have bad thoughts, means thick or, yeah, big you could say, like this just describes the width of something. And so, yeah, wide, big or thick. So the dicken Pötte, this is very much a, what's it called, gross description of something. Dicken Pötte, like this is the, it's kind of hard to explain because this is a, I think, quotation, do you say that? Citing of someone, or like a, probably the Hamburg dialect, which, or not necessarily the dialect, but like what people say if it's not like a higher standard language. So the word by word would mean thick pots. So the description of the ships that rides through it. I know this was a very long explanation, just to say that is describing the container ships, which, yeah, trade, what's it called? No, transport the goods to, like, overseas to other countries, like US or China, or, I don't know, even Australia, probably. And this is it is not necessarily, like, dialect language, so this is still German word, but this is very, like, more kind of gross language, if you get what I mean. So, ride the, I mean, that is like very weird to translate word by word into English, but ride the thick pots, you could say. Pot in German is not the same as pot in English, I guess, or at least not necessarily the same. Pot, yeah, it's, yeah, the same but not the same. Pot in German, like pot, can mean, yeah, it's not necessarily has a very clear thing you have in mind. Either can mean like a pot for like cooking in English, or it can mean like in, what's it called, in more, I would say, more, which way do I say that? Like, more general cultural language, you could say. It can mean like a toilet. If you say ich war auf dem Pott, you kind of say I was on the toilet, but like more referring to a, what's it called in English? Plumpsklo, maybe? Plumpsklo. Outhouse, like where you go on the toilet outside. Pot, that derives from the, I mean, this is very excursionary, but because like back in the day, people used to go on pots to do what they had to do, you know, and this is, I think, why we in German still refuse to saying ich gehe aufs, as something like ich, what's it called? Ich war auf dem Pott. There are some saying like I was kind of visiting the toilet, but with the pot, I'm not remembering it right now, but yeah. Anyways, and there is a third kind of translation with pots referring to the Ruhrpott, which is a very economically, with like, it's in North Rhine-Westphalia, the region where very much like steel and all these companies that used to get the what's it called, ores from the ground and extract them and fabricate them into something like metal and this kind of things. And that is referring to, like, in terms of football, you're gonna hear sometimes like Impot, derby Impot. That just means like a football derby in the Ruhrgebiet region, like between Dortmund and Schalke or something like that. It used to be, at least. Anyways, that was very far away from Hamburg. Yeah. But I was just referring to dicke Pötte, which means the thick pots, but in this case referring to container ships. Anyways, so through the door to the world, the Hamburg Oversea Ports ride the thick pots, so the thick container ships, I guess, or big container ships, you could say. Jeder dritte Container kommt aus China oder wird dorthin verschifft. Jeder dritte Container, every third container kommt aus China, comes out of or from China. And, oder wird dorthin verschifft. Wird verschifft is either like the future form, es wird verschifft, so you're going to, in this case, I think it's kind of the same as shipping, verschiffen. Yeah, shipping is going to be shipped, like transported there via ships. Or it can be like the passive form, wird verschifft. I'm confusing the languages right now, sorry. Wird verschifft can mean like it is being shipped somewhere, excuse me. So every third container comes from China, or in this case it is the passive form, but it can also, you could interpret it as like future form, but it is of course referring to the passive. Anyways, or is being shipped there. Dorthin means there, and hin means just to there, towards it. So there towards. So in general, this just means there. And yeah, that was the short description. Hamburg, by the way, is also kind of famous, just as side notes, for the Kiez, I guess. I don't know, I'm trying to I don't necessarily know too much about Hamburg, but I'm just trying to give some side facts as a German. Kiez ist städtischer Bereich mit eigener Infrastruktur und Charakter, der für seine Bewohner oft eine Art Heimat oder kleines Dorf in der Stadt darstellt. I think this is very lightly said. I think this is more the nightlife, quarter or area in Hamburg. Yeah, it's here saying urban area with its own infrastructure and a character which often represents a kind of home or small village within the city for its residents. Yeah, not necessarily correct, but yeah, that's AI. But I think this is also Kiez is dialect language, so I don't necessarily know what is its original translation into like standard German. Then also, if I'm not completely incorrect, Kurfürstendamm. No, that is Berlin. I'm confusing it, yeah. And there was also some other thing. I don't know if I remember it. Hamburg. But another thing which Hamburg is very much famous for is for its, For its, I would say, high rate and rich people living there. So a lot of richer Germans live in Hamburg to, I don't know, enjoy a nicer life, kind of, but yeah. So there was some other thing. I think it is kind of, in my mind, referring to some, what's it called in English? Rotlichtviertel. So this is what Hamburg is also kind of famous for, same as like other like bigger cities in general, because it's always kind of there, but like in this case as it translates, red light districts. There was another word. I'm just trying to look it up because it's kind of famous for that. Rotlichtviertel, Hamburg. I think there is a word for that. Reeperbahn, that is what I was referring to. Reeperbahn, yeah, this is very much famous. Is these here? Die Reeperbahn ist die zentrale. I can't talk today. Die Reeperbahn ist die zentrale Straße im Vergnügungs- und Rotlichtviertel des Hamburger Stadtteils St. Pauli. Yeah, St. Pauli is very much a famous, not only football club, but part of Berlin. Berlin. Hamburg, excuse me, I'm kind of confusing everything today. Sie ist etwa 930 Meter lang und verläuft vom Millerntor in Richtung Westen bis hin zum Nobistor, Hamburg-Altona. Altona, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. Wo sie in die Königsstraße übergeht. Königstraße. So I'm just translating that for you in Google, but that just means a very much red light district street. Yeah, it's a center street in the entertainment and red light district of Hamburg's St. Pauli district. It's approximately 930 meters long and runs west from Millantor to Nobistor, Hamburg-Altona, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that, where it merges into Königstraße. Yeah, this is very much famous in Hamburg. Maybe there were some other things I missed out on, but yeah, at least in terms of kind of infrastructure. Yeah. But in general, this summarizes it pretty well because, yeah, Hamburg has a very rich history in shipping goods into the outside, and of course also receiving them via the Elbe River. Yeah, Data und Facts, Daten und Fakten, Bevölkerung 1,89 Millionen, Landeshauptstadt Hamburg, Größe 755 Quadratkilometer, Bruttoinlandsprodukt in Millionen Euro 2024, 161.856, Platz 9, Bruttoinlandsprodukt pro Kopf in Euro 2024, 84.486, Platz 1, einzigartig, die Elbphilharmonie ist die spektakulärste und prächtigste Konzerthalle in Deutschland, Sitze im Bundesrat 3, Platz 1 im Ranking, höchstes Entgelt pro Arbeitnehmer 2023, 4.127 Euro im Monat. Special Fact, die Kirche St. Michaelis, genannt der Hamburger Michel, hat die größte Turmuhr Deutschlands. Die 4 Zifferblätter messen jeweils 8 Meter im Durchmesser. So, Population, Bevölkerung, 1,89 Millionen, 1.89 Million. Landeshauptstadt, capital of the land, of course always means a country, but in this case it means it refers to the federal state, so capital of the federal state, Hamburg. Größe, size, 755 Quadratkilometer, 755 square kilometers. Bruttoinlandsprodukt in Millionen Euro 2024 or Stand 2024, because if you refer to something in terms of where some data is taken from, at which point it was made, the factual that something is some sort of where you say Stand, which means it can have different meanings, but in this case, kind of the place, stand. This is not right. I don't know. Stand. Stand. Why is it not translating today? I just don't get it. Status maybe, but the current state of something, you know. And Stand 2024, this is just to to make clear that it is referring to at which point the data was made kind of factual, but I guess you know what I mean. 161.856 in Klammern Platz 9, so in brackets means in Klammern. Bruttoinlandsprodukt in Millionen Euro, which means gross domestic product in million euros, so that is billion in this case. No, wait, trillion. Did I say that wrong in all the last episodes? I don't know, because no, million is this. Oh, I'm kind of confused, but yeah, this should be billion, and this is million. Anyways, so 161 billion and 856 million, my god. 9th place, yeah. Bruttoinlandsprodukt pro Kopf in Euro 2024, so gross domestic product per head in Euro, that just means per person. 2024, 84.486, Platz 1, so every person in Hamburg on average made 84,486 euros per year. First place, so that is what I'm saying. The people in Hamburg are usually making more money than the rest of the country of Germany. Einzigartig means special, or kind of word by word, one of a kind, but yeah, kind of one of a kind. But this just means special. Die Elbphilharmonie ist die spektakulärste und prächtigste Konzerthalle in Deutschland. The Elbphilharmonie, which is I'm just gonna show you, which is a opera, what's it called? Opera sale not museum, what's it called? Like, I think you could say an opera. Yeah. A Konzerthaus, which just means concert house, but I guess you know what I mean. It looks like that. It's kind of famous, and it has a very distinct shape. Yeah. Die Elbphilharmonie ist die spektakulärste und prächtigste Konzerthalle in Deutschland. So the Elbphilharmonie is the most spektakulärste, like the superlative form of spektakulär, und prächtigste, the superlative form of prächtig. So the most, way do you say that? Prächtigste einfügen. Most magnificent, yeah. This is a very metaphoric way of saying most, like the best, the most beautiful kind of Konzerthalle in Deutschland. So concert hall, you could say, in Germany. So very special. The Elbphilharmonie is the most spectacular and most magnificent concert hall in Germany. Sitz im Bundesrat, seats in the Bundesrat, which is the what's it called? The place where all the people that kind of support the interests of the federal states meet, and it's kind of like a second German parliament. Yeah, 3, so it has 3 seats. 3, of course, in German. Platz 1 im Ranking. First place in the ranking. Place 1 in the ranking, in dem ranking. So same in English, ranking. Höchstes Entgelt pro Arbeitnehmer 2023. Highest Entgelt means, like, is it called loan? Entgelt. Remuneration, fee, wage, yeah, I think you know what I mean. Highest, I would say fee or wage per Arbeitnehmer, pro means per, Arbeitnehmer, which means work taker. Arbeit means work, Nehmer means taker, but that just means working person. 2023, 4.127 Euro im Monat, 4,127 euros per month. Yeah, so it has the highest like loans, do you say? Yeah, fees. I think you know what I mean. Yeah, special fact. Die Kirche, oh Gott, I can't say words today. Die Kirche St. Michaelis, genannt der Hamburger Michel, hat die größte Turmuhr Deutschlands. Die 4 Zifferblätter messen jeweils 8 Meter im Durchmesser. Special fact, the church St. Michaelis, I don't know if you know what this church is. Just gonna Google it for you. But yeah. Kirche St. Michaelis, very picture, yeah. So very much historic and I would say like, what's it called? Magnificent, you could also say, church. And yeah. So the church St. Michaelis, genannt der Hamburger Michel, like this means named, or in this case called, but nennen, this Russian word nennen, which means to name, or it could also say call something, but in this case, yeah, in general means called. The Hamburger Michel, which is like, Michel is a word, rather northern name, and so the Hamburger Michel, like you could say Michael, hat die größte Turmuhr Deutschland, has the biggest, what's it called? No, I'm just gonna not trying to say that right now. Turmuhr, tower clock, yeah, that is definitely correct. So the biggest tower clock of Germany, you could say. So, special fact, die Kirche St. Michaelis, the church St. Michaelis, genannt der Hamburger Michel, called the Hamburger Michel, hat die größte Turmuhr Deutschlands, has the biggest tower clock of Germany. Die 4 Zifferblätter messen jeweils 8 Meter im Durchmesser. The 4, what's it called? Zifferblätter, like, I'm just blanking on this word. Like the, do you say dials? But that just means, wait, Zifferblatt, I'm kind of confused because I'm kind of confused in German, I don't know why. I'm just gonna look it up. Zifferblätter, that should just be Zifferblätter? Yeah, I think it is referring to, I was kind of confused because I thought it was the what's it called, the arms, these things, Zifferblatt. But no, I was totally wrong in my mind. So it's, I think, just referring to this, I'm blanking on the words today, Scheibe. Like this kind of surface, this disc, yeah. So but why is it, because it's, of course, wait, I'm just gonna Google the church, St. Michael, Kirche, St. Michael, there was like that, right? Michaelis, of course. Michaelis. Hamburg. So it has to be these things all around, you know, those words referring to. Wait. So die 4 Zifferblätter messen jeweils 8 Meter im Durchmesser. So the 4 dials, as it was called, let me just pull up a picture. I don't know, I was confusing that, but that is, I think, a picture. Like here we have this one and it's going all around, or here, I think you know what I mean. So the 4 dials, I guess, sie messen, but in this case it's like to have a length, so they have a length of jeweils, means per each, like the 4 dials, all the 4 dials measure like 8 meters in the Durchmesser, in the diameter, yeah. So the special fact, the church Saint Michaelis, called the Hamburger Michel, has the biggest tower clock of Germany. The 4 dials measure per each one 8 meters in the diameter. And yeah, this was it for today. This was the article about Hamburg. I think it got pretty long, and yeah, hope you liked it. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you want to, and yeah, see you in the next video. Bye!